Okay, welcome back, everybody. Another week of training here. We are 1 week closer to provincials. This video is going to be from, I think, 5 weeks out. This week I had a little bit of a sickness going on that kind of was really bad on Monday and Tuesday, and then just kind of dragged on for the whole week. But I got my training in. It wasn't perfect. Had to move some kind of sets around, take some sets off, and then add them in to some accessories and whatever. We got it done. Started off Monday with some push press, just basic push press on the axle. I believe we had a set of 10, 8, 6, and then 4. So this is, I think, our set of 6 at, looks like 190. So actually, pretty decent weight for how I was feeling. Mostly just a headache, like that kind of tension headache kind of feeling that I was getting. Oh, sorry, it was 8, 6, 4, and 2. So that was a set of 4, and this was a double that I think I took to a triple at 210. But that was mostly it. Energy obviously was a bit down, and just had to deal with my head feeling it was going to pop. But that's okay. We can deal with that. But overall, good week. Again, not much to talk about. Just bit of whining and complaining. So yeah, that was good for the pressing. We moved over to an accessory. It was supposed to be power cleans, but getting the bar, that kind of impact onto my shoulders, just really made my head feel like it was going to pop off. So instead, I just moved over to the axle, and I was basically just practicing that axle high pull. Haven't touched clean and press in a little bit, so I'm just gonna was just kind of putting it in there just to stay familiar. And I usually don't train, or I usually don't do axle with a split grip. So I thought I should at least just touch it and kind of make sure it's there. Squat day, we had SSB. I think this was our 5-second negatives. Yeah, 5-second negatives for, I think, sets of 5. Or the triples. I can't remember, man. That was so long ago. But anywho, I'm squatting moving over to squatting in my flat shoes. Just because I thought I was maybe with my lifters, I was already pitching myself too far forward, and I'm already thinking about cueing my quads. So I'm driving my knees forward, and I'm already pitched over. So I thought that was maybe putting me in a bad position. And I think I was right, because these felt really good. And then I had another kind of a few more sets of squats with the flats, and they felt a lot better. So I think I'm going to stick to squatting in the flats. It's good to kind of reassess, reevaluate your training. Kind of some of your basic principles of not even just equipment, but of warm-ups and kind of your mentality of how you're approaching the bar and how you're setting up the bar. And there's little things that you can kind of get stuck in your ways of how you do it, especially me being in the garage gym where my equipment's never getting touched. I'm never having I know I don't get to use my special bar because I'm the only one using it. So I always have my perfect deadlift, my perfect squat rack, my perfect everything. So it's good to try and throw some curveballs at yourself, just to kind of keep it fresh. And obviously, I made a change, and it felt better. So, um, back on the axle or 18-inch deadlifts. Again, I changed these to axle and beltless, just to keep the weight down a little bit, but still get a good um, stimulus out of it. So 425, 430 for a nice set there. Basic barbell rows. I'm trying to reassess my rows this kind of sickness week, and the week that I'm going to be posting this, I kind of took a little bit of a step back to look at how I'm doing things, and my rows have kind of been stagnant, kind of always sticking around that 200-pound mark. So I'm going to try and add a few more things in, like using some more control, using some more strict type rows, and some different variations to try and get that, to get my barbell row improved. Because it's not always about just improving your main lifts or your moving events or whatever strongman event you're doing. Because yes, those can go up, but if I don't have the support, I don't have the lats or upper back to support that, then I'm not going to move that very far. So by doing progressively overloading, if you will, my rows and other accessory movements, obviously it's going to improve my main lifts. Basic thing, but just something you kind of can get, again, stagnant or complacent with if you're not consciously thinking about it. Thursday is our strict press day. Top set here at 150, 145, 155, 150. Never, whatever. Missed my third, so I got a bit of a push press. And just did a couple lockout presses to get the volume in. And then on to my most embarrassing lift, my incline bench. It's hard to post, honestly. I don't know why my incline is so bad, but this is 150 for a couple sets, and then I have my top set here, and I just completely fucked it. Looked terrible, missed a rep. So this is just part of the highs and lows of training. It's something that I'm not good at, something I'm trying to improve, but again, it's just something that's not really improving at the rate I want it to. I know if I can get that up, if I can get my bench up, if I can get my other, supported pressings up, then my, things like unsupported, like strict press and my log and my axle and, again, all my strongman stuff will come up. So same thing as I was talking about with the rows. Just trying to take a step back, adding in some different methods to try and break a plateau, if you will. Dumbbell bench. We had, I think these are 80 pounds for a couple sets of 10. You can see I lost it there, so I had to kind of just reset and just grind away as I last rep. Almost pinned me there. Now, the main thing I want to talk about in this video, the fucking trap bar deadlift. So you can see here, this is from last Friday, and I'm training low handle trap bar deadlifts, 4 sets of 8. Now, you might ask, hey, why are you training low handle trap bar deadlift? Well, that is because at Provincials, we have a trap bar deadlift. At the time, we didn't know a height for the deadlift. We just knew it was a trap bar, and we knew it was a lighter trap bar. And so my, 3 brain cell having brain, I go, hey, they might make this low handle because it's so light, and they haven't told it's a height yet. So what did I do? I fucking trained low handle. Everybody fucking bitching and complaining about low handle. Sorry, this is not that type of video. Anywho, what I did do after I trained my low handle to be ready for that in case they threw it at us, which they did, I did a set of high handle at comp weight, over comp weight, just to be ready. And so now I'm going to be ready for low handle, and I would have been ready for high handle because that's the sport of strongman. Some things change, some things are going to stay the same. You never know what's going to happen on the competition day. Maybe you get there. I was just at Paul Longboat's show, Six Nations Strongest, and on the last event of the day, the 200-pound sandbag ripped right open. Sand was going everywhere, and we couldn't use it anymore. So the people that thought they were training a 200-pound sandbag over bar now get to do a 250 sandbag over bar. What did they do? They went, oh, okay, and they fucking did the event. So anybody complaining about events, about orders of events, about whatever, just please stop. You don't run shows. If you do run shows, then maybe you have a bit of room to complain. But a lot of you don't. So please just shut up. Do your fucking training. Just be stronger and compete. And if you can't take it and you want to just bitch and moan, then don't compete. Very simple. Anywho, deficit deadlifts, deficit stiff legs we had there. Moved pretty well. Pretty happy. It's a different row variation like I was talking about. Just so some pen lay rows in the Swiss bar. Obviously I have a bit of a camber there, so I'm kind of cutting the range of motion. And these is my last set at 145. Kind of worked my way down. So this is my last set, hardest set. And obviously this is going to have some carryover to, things like my sandbag and my keg and stuff like that. God, I'm fucking fired up about that stupid trap bar shit. So this was after Paul's show. You can see everybody's kind of dispersed. And I brought my couple of my training things. And I knew Paul had some tires. So I was able to get some tire flip in. Trying to just travel around, get my hands on as many tires as possible. Because obviously we don't know what the tire we have, what the weight is, what the shape is, what the height is. So I'm trying to just get my hands on a few different things, train some different implements, and just be ready, be stronger, be adaptable. It's kind of like what the whole sport is. Ooh, I'm out of breath. It's too much ranting. But these felt good. I think this was about 500 pounds for a set of, I think this was 8. I'm not sure how long it took me. I'm sure it was probably just over a minute. We do have max reps in a minute for the tire. So, not sure how that'll go, but we will see. And then I came home after moving weights all day and training tire. I had still some events to train, and I gotta say, I felt like absolute garbage. The being out in the sun all day, moving weights, having trained a little bit, and then cooling down and coming back to train. Still getting over my sickness. This day just felt like absolute dog shit. I felt so tired. I felt like my head was going to explode. I felt a little bit achy. But I still got the work done. And you know why? Because I adapted. Sorry. God, I'm driving myself crazy with how much I'm repeating myself. This was, I think, 120. I was working on my left. Like I talked about before, I'm trying to get my left up to, competitive with at least the lighter dumbbell, so that if everything goes wrong and my right arm, falls off or I just can't use it, then at least have my left as a backup. Left arm dumbbell is something I've never trained before I started working with Wes, and he was big on drilling that concept of having your left arm be, at least 90% of your right. So you can see just how fatigued I am. We moved over to a set of 5 here on the right. I want to say this was 130. I'm just trying to make them as snappy as possible. I'm really not sure what the number of reps to win is going to be. On the deadlift, I at least had an idea from what some guys were posting. I knew it was going to be high double digits, maybe even 20, 25 reps. Now I'm going to guess it'll be somewhere around 10. Might be the winner. That 5 to 6 range is going to be good. But on dumbbell, I'm really not sure. For the Trump weight, which I can do, I would be impressed if 6 reps gets it. That kind of 1 rep every 10 seconds is a pretty good benchmark for a decent score. But I just don't know. So I'm going to be aiming for 6 once I kind of get some things tweaked and get that conditioning improved. It's definitely not impossible. We do have yoke as the first event confirmed, so hopefully that'll put me in a good spot going into the deadlift, or good spot putting. Hopefully, I'll have a good performance in the yoke, which will allow me to go later on the dumbbell and let me see what more guys are doing. But I still have to get my yoke better, still have to get my dumbbell better, and all across the board I just have to improve. But the main thing I'm trying to work on with my dumbbell is getting it off of my shoulder faster. Watching some of my other videos, I'm pretty fast with the clean, and I'm pretty good at stabilizing the dumbbell at the top. But I kind of spend a lot of time sitting in the rack position, kind of ensuring that I have the perfect setup and whatnot. So that's the main thing I'm going to try and work over the next couple of weeks, is getting it set in the rack position faster. and getting it off of my shoulder faster. This is a set at 150. I had my girlfriend timing and giving me some down calls. I wanted 5, got 4 with I think 8 or 9 seconds left, and then just kind of didn't have the lungs to get that 5th. So I kind of took a 15-20 second rest, and then came back and hit the 5th to make sure it was there. Since I'm just looking for the time. And turned back to tunes, and got my 5th rep done. But overall happy with how the dumbbell feels. It's dumbbell is a weird event because I really don't think it's a press as cool as it looks, as much as it is a test of strength in a way. It just really isn't a press. For a single arm press, for me to be able to hit 150 for sets of 5, and then for me to not even be able to press a 250 log confidently, it just, I don't know, it doesn't really compute to me. But anyhow, we had some yoke work, and by the time I got the yoke out, set up and loaded, I really did not want to do it. I did not want to train anymore. I was exhausted. But again, we got it done. This is, I want to say, 560. Super slow. I think it was about 25-ish seconds for 50 and 50. And my girlfriend got this video of me throwing up. This went on for about 30 seconds. So that kind of wraps up the week of how I felt. But that is all. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week with some heavier and better training.